I'm sure many of you are familiar with the spring cleaning trope that many cartoons tend to share. Powerpuff Girls 2016 decided to make use of that trope, but it doesn't really do enough to make it stand out from the other cartoons that have used the same idea. Professor Utonium asks the girls to go through a pile of their old items and separate the things they want to keep from the stuff they can get rid of. Bubbles and Buttercup do what pretty much every kid does when they have to go through their old toys. They separate them into two piles. For some reason, Blossom has a major problem with this system and decides to take it into her own hands. The professor tells her not to, as he wants all three of them to work together on this one, and even though this would have been a breeze in the original, this is basically just introducing another sibling bickering problem for the next 10 minutes. Professor Utonium begins to head out, but he warns them of another pile sitting in the corner. He tells them not to mess with it because it has things from the lab that could be potentially dangerous. What kind of parent leaves stuff like that out in the open in front of their kids? So rats are allowed to spontaneously combust and die, but the girls aren't allowed to do more than just poke them? The two of them start to go through items after ignoring Blossom's attempt to organize.
As long as I can wear this shirt and this scrunchie, the Bubbles you know is gone!
Buttercup and Bubbles are having a blast going through old stuff until Blossom interrupts them. She tells them that the two boxes aren't enough because they might accidentally give something away. You know, I would typically just triple check the toss pile just to make sure instead of creating 50-something piles of individual items. I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy, but this seems more efficient to me.
Behold, my 19-point plan.
Why, Blossom? Why can't you be like this anymore? Bubbles and Buttercup try to follow Blossom's plan, but it doesn't really end up working out, so Blossom decides to take on the task alone to prove them wrong. She goes through the professor's belongings and opens up a chest that releases a bunch of spirits. Why the professor has this out in the open or where he got it from is never explained. They start destroying the place, and when Blossom tries to get them to stop, they just thank her instead for releasing them. She tries various measures like attacking them head on, freezing them, and laser vision, but none of that works because it passes right through them. How they're able to hold drinks, phones, food, and other inanimate objects is never really explained. Blossom begins to believe that she'll never be able to stop the monsters at this rate, but a spirit named Hope shows up just in time. Hope is continuously getting distracted by all these things, so Blossom can't find out the secret to stopping the evil spirits. The professor texts her saying that he's on his way home, so she goes to get Buttercup and Bubbles for help because she admits that she can't handle the problem on her own. That's a cameo I didn't expect to see. After Buttercup records Blossom saying she was wrong into her phone, Bubbles asks Hope how to get the monsters back into the box. Apparently all they have to do is get them to say "talame," which means see you later in Greek. I'm glad they at least explained what it meant to the viewers because I honestly had no idea. Oh look, they're rapping again. I'll just spare you the agony by saying that Blossom gets them to say it and the spirits are locked back in the box. The girls clean up the mess and the professor returns home satisfied with their job well done. I'll admit, this could have been a lot worse, but it's not an episode I'd go back to either. Some of the poor decisions made by the professor could have been completely avoided and none of this would have ever happened. I mean, I guess that ruins the episode, but it would have been cooler if, say, Mojo Jojo came in and stole the box, and then released the monsters in his volcano lab. The fact that Buttercup and Bubbles immediately know how to fix the problem made it feel kind of rushed. I don't know, it's just a minor nitpick on my part. I know in previous episodes that the moral felt a bit forced, but just the way the ending is scripted here makes it feel very out of place in my opinion.
Did you guys work together?
We sure did.
Good job, girls.
They're speaking in the stereotypical 4-year-old life lesson learned tone of voice. And of course, the scrunchie, the selfie, and the rapping references were pretty unnecessary too. This once again falls into that category of episodes that I wouldn't recommend you watch because of these reasons.
What is even going on?